We got Vogie in the building, live in the flesh today, and he lived up to absolutely everything. Vogie is the fucking man. Subscribe to the We Gotta Believe YouTube channel and watch the premiere today.
All right, let's do it. It's Vogie, baby. The superstar is here. And we were just talking about what a life change it's got to be in New York City. So I'm sure it's been a whirlwind for you, but we're happy you're here, man.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
It's, I mean, I don't know were you ready for this? I mean, you have been embraced so quickly, dude. And, I mean, it's been, a few weeks, and I feel like you're a legend here for the Mets. Like, were you prepared for anything like this?
I don't know. I mean, you watch, like I always say, like, you watch the Mets. I mean, when you play baseball, you watch other teams, right? You watch good teams. And throughout the year, like, you watch the Mets play, and, like, they've always been special this year, you know? Like, they're always feel like they were always winning. You know, you always heard about them. And then you get to, like, be a part of it, and you wonder, like, on the outside, you're like, why are they good? Why are they special? Obviously, they have good players. And when you get traded, it's like you're nervous to go to a new clubhouse, right? Especially with, like, you know, big name guys, like guys that, you know, like you go from Pittsburgh where there, you know, there's not a lot of big name guys, and you go to New York where it's guys that have basically achieved everything you can achieve in the big leagues. And
there's Max Scherzer just sitting
exactly,
in the dugout.
Exactly.
There's Pete Alonso.
Right.
And then you walk in, and the minute I walked in, I was like, this is why they're good. Like, it was the easiest clubhouse to come into. The guys were awesome. Everybody was close. There's no, like, little cliques. Like, I'm like, this is why they're good.
Awesome.
Like, everybody's in it for the same reason.
Dude,
so,
I'd love to hear that.
And that's the reason I think they got you too, because as soon as they traded for you, I had all Pirates fans, Mariners fans. They're like, I'm so happy you guys got Vogie. You guys are going to love him. Take care of my boy. We got the picture of you in the jumper. I'm getting Chris Farley pictures of you dressed like him in Chippendales. And then Kev's getting texts, and it's like, one of the best teammates I ever had.
Yeah,
like, you know,
Yelich
multiple
me,
guys.
He said top 3 teammate I've ever had, top 3 locker room guy I've ever known.
Yeah.
I got to give you a hug, man.
Let's do the big guy hug. Come on. Give our man Clem. He's got.
I'm happy to be here.
Yo, it really is. You know, there was something about it. I don't know if it's a Met fan thing, but when Bartolo came here, the fans and him, we just like meshed perfectly. And we gave him the nickname Big Sexy, and he was always smooth out there and always like laughing, but, you know, performing at the same time. And I feel like the Mets fans knew that they had something special in him. And when you came over here, man, I feel like it was like the second coming, like we're doing it again. We knew we had something. And the way you played, dude, I mean, you can't play better than what you've played so far.
As a team, too, a team and a player, right? It's crazy.
Listen, as soon as they drop Vogie in, I think we've won like 15-17. So, I mean,
I got to find sunglasses. I got to go Epler mode because everyone was hurting our boy Billy, and it's like all that guy does. It's like, I'm going to get him, Tyler Naquin, reliever, and we're just not going to lose games anymore.
I mean, the moves he's made, the buttons he's pushed has been the right ones for sure. When you got the word where you know, like you said, I'm sure you had a lot of great teammates and stuff in Pittsburgh, but, you know, you're going into a pennant race all of a sudden.
Absolutely.
So your whole, you know, when you're playing for the Pirates, you know, you're going out there, you're trying to win, I'm sure, but are you trying to also just better yourself and play good? Now all of a sudden you got to be like, I got to win a fucking title here.
I mean, going back to Yelly, last year in Milwaukee, he always told me, like, because they had been in the playoffs, you know, in the past, and he always told me, he's like, Vogie, like, it's addicting. Like, when you make the playoffs once, like, this is all you're ever gonna want. Like, this is it. And I'm like, yeah, you know, like, I feel like, okay. And then, like, we won the division last year, and when we lost to Atlanta, I remember being in Atlanta locker room, yelling, I were the last ones in there, and, like, I'm like, I want to play again right now.
Yeah.
Like, that was like a walk feels like a walk-off homer. Like, everything just is so magnified, and, like, the fans are, like, so into it, and it's like, so when I sign with Pittsburgh, like, you kind of sign, like, doing that, like, knowing that they're in a rebuild mode. It's like, hey, if I perform, like, I'm going to be out of there. You know, like, I'm not going to, like, I'm not really a part of their plans right now with, like, having the younger guys, you know, wanting to play. So it's like, I kind of had a good feeling that I was going to get traded.
Yeah.
But not going to lie, didn't think it was going to be as early as it was.
Yeah, you were a few weeks before
I
the
thought it
deadline.
was going to kind of be like, okay, like last day, like where are we going to go type thing.
Yeah.
And when they called me in, it was like I didn't know, like, because it was like an hour before the game, and I was in the lineup, everything was fine, and then Shelty called me in and was like, he called me from actually Brian Reynolds and I were playing, and Marisnik were playing Golden Tee, like the golf in Pittsburgh. And he like comes and gets me. He's like, Vogie, come here for a sec. I'm like, Shelty and I had a pretty good relationship, and he like put his arm around me, and he's like, I just want you to know I love you.
Oh boy.
And I was like, did it happen? He was like, yeah, it happened. And I'm like, already?
Yeah.
And so we go in the office, and when they told me the Mets, it was like, your mind just starts spinning. You go from, like you said, smaller town Pittsburgh to like the biggest town, you know what I mean?
Biggest
like,
fucking
biggest city in
loudest,
baseball.
most crowded
Capital
city
of the
in
world,
world.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's like, at first I was like, kind of nervous. And like, I'm like, man, I got a chance to go back to the playoffs. You know
Hell
what I mean?
yeah.
Like, this is what we
Yeah.
like. You play for. This is what you want to do. And then when, like I said, when I got here in the clubhouse, the way it was like, man, like I'm meant to be here. Like this is fun. Like this.
Did anybody reach out like right away? Was there
Nito did.
Nito?
Yeah.
Dude, that's my guy. I knew it. I fucking knew it. Dude.
So I
friend.
actually played on the same travel team. I don't know. I'm sure you guys know this. As it was me, Lindor,
Squad,
Nito,
right? Yeah.
like we all like kind of. I've known them for a while, you know, and then so Nito reached out to me.
How long ago was that?
That was in. I've known Cisco since we were like 16.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
Do you think he's good? Because there's a lot of Mets fans who were telling me he wasn't good to begin the season. Do you think Francisco Lindor is good?
I'll say this, like, he's like perfect.
It's not just
That
good.
might be the new
He's
phrase.
perfect.
Francisco
Just
Lindor is perfect.
Like
sure.
We have been.
he's like you get like there's a lot of really good players in the big leagues. There's superstars, but like until you like get to know someone personally, you can't really say it. But like knowing Cisco personally, like it's like he's a leader. He's a great person, great family dude. He brings it every single day. The guy wants to play, and all he cares about is winning. It's like, what else do you want?
got
out
that
of your
smile.
superstar?
He's got that
that's it.
hair.
Like, there's
I mean,
nothing
yeah.
else you want out of a superstar. Like he brings everything to the
Hits,
table.
runs, fields, does it all. It's like a 7-tool
And
player.
I always
based
say,
on what
like,
you
he's never too high and he's never too low. Like, he's so even keeled with his emotions every day. It's like, those are the guys you get behind.
So Nito and and Francisco were like, the welcome home.
Yeah,
Like, this is,
Nito,
this
the
is it
first
now?
thing Nito said was, like, you're going to love this clubhouse. Like, you're going to fit right in. And then it was like, so that anytime, like I said, like, you go to a new place, like, you get someone to, like, refresh that and tell you, like, hey, you're going to enjoy it. It was, like, it was perfect. Like, it was.
What about the life shock of, like, were you living in Pittsburgh at the time?
I was living in we were in right downtown at the Strip District.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we come here and it's like way different.
Yeah.
So, like, I think we'll just stay at the hotel for a little bit.
So right now, no permanent.
No, my wife and I are just going to stay at the hotel for a little bit
Yeah,
and
that's
figure
cool.
that out. I mean, we're not home that much anymore.
I was gonna
You're
say-
only home like 10 games and you go on the road, and
Yeah.
True.
so it's like not really worth getting into anything right now.
What was her reaction when you got
She's
to-
so easygoing. She don't
Yeah.
care. She's
How long you been married?
We've been married for a year.
Oh,
We
so
got
good.
married in January. Yeah,
Congrats.
we waited. Thank you. Yeah, we met in Seattle, and she's awesome. She's just easygoing. She just loves it. She loves traveling, so she doesn't care.
How'd you
What a
guys meet?
year, man.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple rings going on already. Maybe one more to end the year.
How'd you meet her in Seattle?
We met. I went out to dinner with Gordon Beckham, and in 16, I think it was. Yeah, no, 17. Went out to dinner like first week we were there, and she was just sitting at the bar eating with one of her friends, and like we started talking. Gordon will tell you that he hooked it up. And then ever since then, it was one of those things, just always talked. And she got out of Seattle and we live down in Fort Myers now and love it.
I saw a quote too where you said like I just feel like I should talk to her.
Yeah,
it was just one of those things.
Yeah, it was one of those things like I told Gordon, I'm like, dude, I'm supposed to talk to her. And of course Gordon like took that and ran with it or whatever.
That is funny.
Yeah,
man.
it's
Good
awesome.
for you. That's
Yeah.
a good story.
I have a question. So you said that you find out the clubhouse. Players in other clubhouses, we have this guy. His name's Uncle Stevie, known as Steve Cohen. Has there been like, all right, the Mets are different. The Mets have changed, and they have this dude that just throws around money and buys statues that are $100 million.
Yeah, have you had any interactions with him?
I met him and his wife at the we had that fundraiser like a week ago, and I met him. Yes, yeah.
Are other like I know obviously we talked to Pete and he said that players in the clubhouse like him, they've gotten to know him and stuff like that. Are other players, and we've talked to some players who are on the franchise, and I think people are noticing the Mets are cool. They're in a big market. Could be some stuff off the field. Are they talking about like the Mets are kind of a say Kevin Durant? The Knicks aren't cool. I think the Mets are becoming cool
Mets,
to other teams.
Yeah.
What's the vibe other players around the league think about the Mets?
I mean, it's easy to like when you're playing against another team to like you can see right through the bull crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you think there's a lot of bad people on that team or like that gives a bad vibe, like you can't hide that long.
Right.
Like so playing against the Mets and playing like you can tell that it's not that way. Like they're good people. They want to win, and I think that the biggest thing for me is like you have superstars, but their superstars are there just to win. You know what I mean? Like superstars that aren't like there to just care about their numbers,
Right.
Like so I think that to answer your question, like yeah, it is cool because you get cool people in there that like all want the same common goal.
Yeah.
And then the guy who's the skipper of it all, Buck, and I mean,
the best,
I'm telling you, when I get nervous, and Mets fans, we're nervous. When we had Jeff McNeil in here, I think 2018, 2019, and I remember we're like, Jeff, we're gonna say sorry right now. The fans were gonna boo. We're gonna say stupid things. We had Javi Baez booing us back. Right? It was chaos. You're getting the Mets fans at a much different time of our lives right now, and I'm so happy. And I think it's because obviously the winning, but when you see Buck in the dugout, we're just like everything's gonna be fine. Has he kind of been that presence for you guys?
He's made like one bad call maybe all year. Like everything he's done is like perfect. Does that translate for you guys?
He's so smart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He
Like,
knows
he,
like every
like,
rule.
he
He knows
knows-
everything.
Yeah, he's just like, and he just lets the players play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he like and I always say this about players, and it's the same thing about like coaches too. Like you're not like this successful for this long, at doing something just by coincidence or luck. You know what I mean? Like you got to be good at it. Like it's I always say that about like Scherzer and DeGrom and those guys. Like they haven't put up the numbers they had for as long as they have just from luck. Like
well, you know what?
like,
I'm saying that about your team right now too. People are trying to tell me some of this success for the Mets is luck. I'm like, bro, we're 110 games in.
Do the brace.
It ain't
BABIP and XBA and
fucking nerd. No, it ain't luck, man. There's a reason why this team is cooking.
Absolutely.
Did you It was so fast, so I don't even know if you could really like pinpoint it, but like. So, I mean, you played for a couple different teams, made the All-Star team, hit 30 bombs, had some ups, had some downs. Was there like a moment, a day, a week, however long into your time after coming to New York where you realized like, holy shit, this is different? Like the internet's buzzing, we're making T-shirts, you got nicknames, we're going wild for you. Was that like, holy shit, I can't believe this?
Definitely, I just think the way everything's magnified. Like it's fun. Like nothing goes on. Like nobody misses a beat. You know what I mean? Like
You said that donut line, and it was every single person's
Did you do that on purpose?
It's actually
that was
funny
a great
because
line.
I'm just taking it and running with it. But like I told Max in Washington. I actually got the quote from Jay Bruce. Jay told me, he's like, yeah, like because he and I would always go back and forth when we were in Seattle together. If he didn't hit a homer in a little bit, and he's always telling me, he's like, dude, homers are like homers come in dozens, just like donuts. So then, like that's kind of what I said to Max, and then it was, I'm like, I'm
donuts,
taking
baby.
it and running it, like whatever.
But
yeah, like I just think that I always say this, like you go to places and play, and like people say, oh yeah, I'm a baseball fan. Like there's like a fan, and then there's like I'm invested. You know what I mean? And I feel like when I came here, like everybody is just like truly invested and truly cares. You know what I mean? And that's. I always say that makes you want to go to the ballpark.
I mean, yeah, you've only been there for a little bit. A couple of the guys who were around last year saw like the bad side of that because, I'm 38. I've been 37, 8. I don't even know how old I am.
You're old.
I'm old, and so a lot of those years have been bad years.
Yeah.
And new ownership now is great. It was not so great before Cohen, and so there was a lot of negativity around that franchise. But when Cohen came in and Francisco comes in and everything starts to change, like I made the flip. I'm like, we're no longer this loser franchise with bad management. Let's go. He knows it. We know it. There's a lot of fans out there that still are stuck in that other mode where
you met one of them actually. I believe.
Yeah.
His name
Do you
is
know Frank the Tank? Are you aware of Frank the Tank yet? He is.
I think I met him out there.
Yeah, he is. He is a loud fella who is. he's a diehard fan himself, but he's like, I'm always waiting for the other shoe to drop. So I think every time you strike out or an error or someone scores a run against us, oh, that's it. The Mets are going to lose again.
9-game losing streak. Every win could start a 9-game losing streak after
these
that.
guys feel like that.
It's crazy.
I mean, you've only been there for a couple of weeks, but I remember Nito kind of made a reference to it when he was getting interviewed, where if every night the Mets lost, they'd be like, that's it, we're done. One fucking game, one loss. And then, they would win the next 2 or rattle off 3 or 4. But this is all a long-winded way to say, like, did anybody talk to you, or were you already aware of how the Mets fans can be super passionate, but along with that also comes like a lot of negativity and kind of hypocrisy and craziness and all that shit?
I mean, no. I think that, that's when someone can take sports or anything out of it. When someone's so passionate about something, like, of course, people get let down, and like, I feel like that's just the nature of it. And I mean, it could be the other way, and, they don't care from the start. You know what I mean? Like, so, no, I just think that I always say, like, I just go play, and like, as long as I feel like, at least I tell myself, you play hard and you give a shit, like, they're going to care. You know what I mean? Like, and that's it. Like, it's going to be ups, downs, but as long as we care and we, do what we're supposed to do in the sense of giving it our best effort every night, I think that it's going to work out, especially with the clubhouse that we have.
When you hit that grand slam, how'd that feel? were you like...
Yeah, I was always...
did you realize what that, like...
I needed one to go off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
like, it's like
it had been a couple games.
Even though you're hitting a little bit, it's like,
you were
all right,
fine.
I just need one home run to go.
I remember tweeting. I was like, I need the Vogelbach. Like, the Vogelbach is coming, and I'm gonna love it. And I unfortunately I was walking to my fucking car when it happened. So by the time I get in the car, I'm seeing it was a grand slam. I'm like, the Vogelbach was a Vogel slam? Are you kidding me?
I called that, by the way. I said the Vogelbaum's coming today, and then I wrote to the group text. I go, a Vogel slam would be sex, and then 2 minutes later, sex. Sex was delivered by the big man right here.
Man.
Thank you.
It was sexy. It was like, what a way to. I wouldn't even say like get it off your back because there's only been a couple games.
Yeah.
But were you looking for one? You were like, I
yeah.
need
I mean,
to park one.
At the end of the day, like you need one. You know what I mean? You just need the one to go, and because. Coming to a new team, obviously you want to impress, you want to prove to them that, like, you made the right move, stuff. Yeah. So, like, of course, once the one went, it was like, okay, I can breathe and just go play now.
A big man likes singing dingers, and let that first dinger go. You can relax. And the other thing this guy does, and I knew it's like the bomb's going to be big, but that first time where we saw all the videos going first to home, and we were like, here we go. And then the Vogelbus was on the loose against the Bravos.
Was awesome, man.
And I have a theory. They're always like, oh, they had the baseball savant where it has all the different stats, and it's like you have an elite eye. Everything's in red, and it's all this stuff. And then it's like the speed score is like 2 out of 100.
Fuck that.
And it's bullshit. Because I say you were like Bowser and Donkey Kong in Mario Kart. Once you get that, it's slow to start, but once you're moving, you are trucking. And I'll tell you right now, thank God Dansby Swanson pocketed that ball because William Contreras would have been nothing but a pair of legs by the time you got the collision
the
at
tracks,
home.
man. With the big
you just got to get, going a little
that
bit.
Inertia,
yeah.
No, but I mean, I'm not even joking. I genuinely feel like you're fast. Like you're.
I don't know if I'm fast.
No, I mean, like pound for pound. Like I think you have more athleticism than maybe the average person would look at you and think.
Yeah, I mean, I've always prided myself. Like, I feel like I'm way more athletic than people think. But sometimes it's a good thing. People don't think I'm gonna be able to score.
Yeah, sneaky wheels, man.
You saw Joey Cora waving home. It's like, Joey, oh boy, here we go.
But yeah, I mean, I always say, like, when I get on base, like, I want to do what I can, like, not only to help the team, but individual. Like, if a guy hits a ball in the gap, like, I want to score. Not only is that a run for us, but that's an RBI for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, stuff like that. Like, obviously there's going to be some that, like, I'm not going to score on the same ball that, Lindor, you know what I mean? If it's a bang play. But, like, if a ball's hitting the gap and I got a chance to score, like, absolutely, I'm going to do everything I can to score.
I mean, some of these guys, Marte scores from second on a fucking infield single somehow. I mean, some of these guys are crazy.
Your boy Nito, though, he doesn't like.
You're faster than Nito for sure. Dude, I mean, he said it to me before. I'm like, you're the slowest man alive, dude.
To be fair to Needs, he sweats so much from catching and stuff. He's got to be dead back there.
And it's so funny. I'm sitting from my couch, tweeting, talking shit. He would absolutely dust. Me and 99% of the other people out there talking.
There's crumbs on my chest as I'm tweeting. And this guy's so slow.
I'm eating ice cream like a slob. Like, give me a fucking break.
Oh man.
It is. There is something about. I mean, you obviously mash and have a great eye, so there's, of course, like a very tangible reason why the fans love you. But it's your stature too, like just your appearance, bigger guy. Even the face, you actually look you look intimidating, but it's funny because you're like a nice guy and you're laughing. But some of those, like you're the baseball card shot is very like, oh, don't fuck with this guy, you know. There's definitely an air about you.
Yeah. He has the chain too. You can't forget the chain.
Yeah, I mean,
I would say you're if they're like, who is this guy? I'd be like, he's a Yankees fan. You kind of look like a Yankees fan.
So we make fun of Yankee fans for being like, they got the gold chains. They usually have a wife beater on. Are you tatted up? You got any Yankee on you? All right, so yeah, he's not a full-blown Yankee fan like that. But yeah, you definitely have this appearance to you that I think, at least the Mets fans. I don't know. Did the other fan bases like gravitate towards you on that? Everybody likes a bigger guy.
Yeah,
you know?
I just I kind of have like. I always say, like, I don't know, some people, like, maybe not be able to, but, like, I feel like I can flip a switch. Like, off the field, like, I'm just, like, love to have a good time, like, hang out, like, laugh, like, joke around, do whatever, like, shoot shit. And then, like, when it's, like, go to play, like, I can flip a switch and, like, I may or may not be addicted to caffeine. And, like, I just take caffeine and, like, I'm, like, for 9 innings or however long it takes, like, I'm, like, locked in. Like, and, like, that's kind of, like, how it is, and maybe it's just like I like take it like I take every bat like my life's on the line. You know, that's how I feel. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
like,
bro, that's how it feels for us because we are like ridiculous. You might, maybe caffeine is your thing. Our thing is Mets baseball. It's like it is way too impactful of my life. I mean,
you said it yesterday. You said the Mets won a day game today, so now I have 48 hours of just pure bliss.
Like because if they lose. If you guys lose and then we don't play again until Friday, it's like all I'm thinking about is like, oh, they blew it in the 8th inning or whatever, you know?
How did he put in Gibbons there? He should have put in. I can't believe we don't have Chafin to play face a lefty.
Yeah, I mean, the takes would have been flying, but when you win, you guys make my life like infinitely better.
I got a question for you.
Fans, I think, like hearing that. You know, some guys I've heard quotes over the years who are kind of like, "It's my job. I just like I'm here to do that. I want to make my paycheck, whatever."
I would just say like you get a short period of time to do this, right? Like to play like we're not gonna play baseball till I'm 50. You know what I mean? Like you get a short period of time to do it, and like I just like maybe it's just because of like my mentality, but like like every at bat, like I just want like it's like my life's on the line. Like it's me versus him, and it's time to go. You know?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and then like you said, you know, off the field you like to have fun, and like you said, you keep the guys loose. So we saw the Chris Farley picture of the Chippendales, right? You saw the jumper picture of you, and then there's the milkshake came up yesterday. Obviously, you bring all the milkshake to the boys of the yard.
Yeah, that's
what a move.
I'm always I don't know if Yelly told like I'm for the boys. Whatever the boys want, the boys get, and they wanted me to do it, and I'm like, all right, whatever. Like if you guys want me to do it,
who was the ringleader on that?
To be honest, they played it through the clubhouse, and it was like Bassett and all those guys were like, Vogie, you have to do it. Like, I'm like, all right, I'll do it.
Yes.
If you want me to do it, I'll do it.
So we've been calling you Sexy Back, and we made videos with that. And so I was like, you know, what if he made that his walk up? And I'm happy you went with what you did because it's so much better. It's so much funnier. Like, even in the way, yesterday you're walking up and Gary Cohen's like, have you got a chance to meet those guys yet, by the way,
I
Gary?
think, yeah.
Because those guys are, players come and go, but the fans and Gary, Keith, and Ron are like there, forever. And so Gary was like, it's an interesting choice. And Keith was like, I don't even know what that was. And Gary was like, it's probably better that way. So that was, so that's playing in the clubhouse, and someone says, you got to walk up to this?
Because it was Women's Day yesterday. So we were doing like all going to walk out to like, a women's song that a woman sang. So like I was like thinking about like, country song or something like that. And then I don't know who it was. Someone was like, dude, you got to walk out the milkshake. And I'm like, I'm not, no way. And then like they played it, and like Bassett and those guys are like, Dude, no chance. I'm like, all right, fine. If you guys want me to do it, I'll do it.
So wait, is that just was that just because of International Women's Day? Is that what a one and done?
I don't know.
I also, are you a superstitious guy?
Not really, no.
Okay, because I was gonna say, don't rock the boat.
Yeah.
Man. You had a good day. You had a good day at the plate playing milkshakes.
I know.
So I don't know.
We're gonna have to see when we get to the clubhouse tomorrow if I'm allowed to change it or not.
Okay, yeah.
We're throwing sexy back in the mix.
Yeah,
just for the record. That's
just want to put that in the ring.
I
Sexy
think
back
they
would be
played
very
it
fun.
yesterday in the stadium after.
Did
it hit
they?
the double.
After
yeah.
Did they?
Oh,
Okay.
so it's a
Yeah.
post
All right.
hit. That's a post hit song.
Yeah.
As long as it's getting in the mix, but walking up to the plate to sexy back would be electric. just put it out there.
All right,
you know?
all right.
It's
I'll
the
put
ultimate,
it.
it's
I'll
up
put
to
it in
you,
my
but-
back pocket.
Yeah.
So, is there a story where something like that you weren't sure you wanted to do, and you're like, you know what, it's for the boys?
Oh man.
There's probably a bunch. I'm guessing you're just going through a Rolodex.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's like just little stuff. Like in Milwaukee, if we were like not winning, like I'd play with no undershirt on and I'd unbutton like my first 3 or 4 button. Like we would have this thing where it was like Yelly would always say like if we lose, like we'd have to go another button. And I'm like, dude, pretty soon, like I'm gonna be.
I love Yelich, man.
But yeah, like little. I mean,
what's the most ridiculous thing you've done in the clubhouse? In any clubhouse, you can go
that you can say on a podcast
Yeah.
and not get.
yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, that video that got put up last year, me beer bonging the beer after we won the division.
Yeah.
But I don't know, just caffeine. Like sometimes, like I'm
It's
like,
the
God, I
caffeine,
have
huh?
so much caffeine in me right now. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, my toes are itching from the P4. Like,
What are you a beer guy? What's your drink of choice? Aside from
I
the
will-
delicious Coors Light. Other than that,
I'll drink beer, but I drink Tito's and getting into like more bourbon stuff. But yeah, I mean, if it's cold, sometimes I'll drink it.
Yeah.
So I'm not really. I won't complain about it.
Are you? Okay.
No, I was just say you mentioned before about like all these teammates and these guys who were. I saw you talking to Jake and Max. Is that just like? Is it like talking to a professor about like how to like ace a test? And these two guys are the best fucking people in the world to like get that info from.
Yeah, like if I'm like when I'm DHing or even if I'm not playing, and those guys aren't pitching, like when at bats go, like I kind of talk to them about like, or ask even all of them because they're so successful. Like I put like scenarios in their head. So as if I were to bat, like if I were hitting, like how would you attack this or what would you stay away from? So then like as I go, like I just get in bits and pieces of information for when I'm in the box about like, you know what I mean? Like if I take this pitch, would you throw it again or would you know what I mean? Like little stuff that, can help me going forward. Because like I said, like, and you said, I mean, those guys have struck out a lot of guys in their career. So what makes them successful and, the way they think, if I can think along with them, I feel like I can get an edge, going forward.
And that's Max on an off day. Max, when he's pitching, what is it like being in the same dugout as that dude?
Just
Bro,
let him
he's
go.
scary.
Just
He's
let him.
fucking.
I said
he's
that.
an
I
animal.
said that the other day. Someone asked me about. One of the reporters asked me, what's so impressive about your pitchers? And I don't even think it's close. I just think the presence that they bring. Like obviously everybody knows about the stuff, but like the presence. I mean, you saw Bassett the other night, 8 innings, and he wanted. I mean, he would have gone out for the 9th. Like he wanted it.
You see his quote where he was like, they said, you threw your season high.
Yeah.
And he goes, I want to throw 115, 120 every night, but Buck won't let me.
That's the
good
thing. Like
Bassett
those
hound.
like the presence that they bring, like it makes you want to play behind them. Like that's big pitches. Like I always say, there's like fake energy and like fake tough guys, right? But then there's like, you look at Max and you look at like Jake and these guys, like it's not like every strikeout like they're fist bumping. They're focused on like what they want to do, and then like if the time calls for it, like you'll get a scream or a fist bump out of it. But you know what I mean? Like they're there just to do their job every single day.
Yep.
Who in that clubhouse? Because I feel like sometimes is it different between pitchers and position players?
See, that's what makes this clubhouse so. It's not.
No.
Like there's no like position players, pitchers. Like everybody's just together.
And is there like who's like the clubhouse clown?
Bassett's the funniest.
Is he really?
At least to me, Bassett
That's
makes
so funny because I thought he was so.
Bassett makes me laugh so much.
Wow, he had that quote in the beginning of the year that was so intense. He was like, "I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
I don't care if name on the front, name on the back. I'm coming for you." And if you asked me, I would have thought he would be the guy. Like, don't this is serious business.
Yeah. See, but that's like kind of like what I like everybody like is that way and has fun, but like when the lights, you know what I mean? Like you can like flip a switch, like all right, like we had our fun, like joking, but now like it's time to take care of business type thing.
Yeah, and then kind of going with the pitcher side of things and even the music, you've kind of come in as it's blown up to the rest of the world's finding out what we learned a couple years ago. Timmy Trumpets, Blaster Jacks, Narco, Edwin Diaz coming in is the most electric entrance there is. Do you kind of just, catch yourself just looking around at the entire crowd going crazy? Because listen, closers for Mets fans has not been a very good combo back in the day, and to have this, it's like seeing HD TV for the first time. Like, what is this sorcery?
I had the privilege to play with Sugar in Seattle
at the same time, right?
And someone asked me the other day, like, did you ever think Sugar was going to be this? And I'm like, he's always been, you know what I mean? Like,
I saw it.
I saw it when I felt like he was 18 years old doing it. But yeah, like there's not many songs, there's not many things that like, give you goosebumps. And like when Suge comes out and those things, like it's like you get goosebumps for two reasons. You get goosebumps because you're really confident that Sugar's coming in, and then you get goosebumps just because you see how, like you said, involved the crowd is and like how it affects so many people.
Did he like pick that intentionally? Did that just kind of become a thing, or was he like, this is fucking awesome and I'm doing this because like?
Do you know?
I don't know.
In Seattle.
No, he didn't do that in Seattle.
Because I remember
wasn't his
hearing
thing
like
in Seattle.
I remember Billy Wagner. I think Billy Wagner picked it, and Rivera like kind of stumbled into it. He was like, I don't know what this song is.
Yeah.
Like the fans like it, so I do it. I get the feeling that Edwin was probably like, I don't know, I like this song, but never thinking that it was going to be like, I mean, it's so unbelievable. Like you sound the trumpets, like the trumpets means it's over, dude.
Yeah,
like death is coming, dude.
It's cool, like, and that just as like you said, like everybody gets so involved in it. You know what I mean? Like there's nobody that isn't on out of their seat. There's nobody that isn't like locked in on it, and that's just so cool.
And as a dude, I mean, you said it, you want to win your entire life. You're itching from all the caffeine coursing through your veins at the time. And are you just looking at the dudes who are coming up who are just like, motherfucker, I got to face Edwin Diaz, who's as dirty as it is right now.
I can't. I always say something like, I'm happy he's on our team. Like,
have you had to face him since?
I haven't.
Never.
No,
man.
So
consider yourself lucky,
I know, bro. Exactly.
So I mean, when you kind of filled in like a hole on this team, and now kind of platooning alongside with a couple other guys. What is it about? Obviously, righty lefty is a very common thing in baseball, but is it just the way you see it out of their hands? Is it the way, like, what makes it so much different where you can just mash?
Yeah. I always say, like, I don't see lefties bad. It's like stuff gets magnified when you have a lot of at-bats, Like, it's stats, like, so it's like I've just been seeing way more righties in my career, Like, so I'm, like, just way more comfortable off of them, and you just like there's just way more of them in the big leagues, and then like you get when I was at Seattle and stuff, it's like you got in a thing where like you didn't start off a lefty, but if they started a righty, you were just facing the bullpen lefties. Well, normally the bullpen lefties are a lot better than the starting lefties, so because they're in the big leagues for one reason, that's to get lefties out. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that just maybe confidence, but it's the whole platooning thing is. I feel like I don't know that every team can do it. It takes the right person to, be okay with like, passing it along. That's something that I think that everybody's embraced. Like
I feel like that, a little bit of an ego thing for some people. Maybe is there.
But I think that's the thing about it, like winning a championship. Like your ego's got to go. You know what I mean? Like it's all comes down to winning.
Do you think that like is it something that you? Wish, would you rather be an everyday player? Would you, obviously want to hit everybody you face, but are you comfortable with it being
I
just
think
this?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, in Pittsburgh, I played, off some lefties and stuff, but I was like, that's kind of what the game's coming to, like it's coming to like, unless you're signing like a $300 million deal, it's like a lot of people are platooning,
specialize in something.
Like, and I think that, life could be way worse. You could be playing in the big leagues and playing, in a pennant race. So, absolutely, I'm perfectly fine with it. Anything I always say, and I know it's kind of cliche, but it's for real because that's how I go to like. I just want to win, and whatever I can do to help win every night, like that's what I want to do.
Yeah, we put up a couple pictures of you and Ruff together. And there was a couple. Of nicknames. We basically look at you guys as like the tag team champions of the world.
designated. It was like DX, but it was DH.
Are you a wrestling guy? Did you watch wrestling growing up? No, there's a couple good
really?
wrestling references.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but it is cool when it's like, all right, like they're gonna put him in. All right, well we're gonna turn you around, and like you guys can just kind of play the chess match. And as of right now, whichever one Buck puts in with you guys, you're fucked.
The same thing with Naquin and all the like everybody. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing. Like, you never know what you're gonna get when you bring in guys from different teams. And like, Naquin's the best. Like,
Dude,
great teammate. Guy just wants to win. It's awesome.
We loved Colin Holderman, the guy that traded for you.
That was actually the biggest thing. Now that you mention it, was Holderman leaving. Everyone's like, oh man.
Yeah, there was nobody who was like, we don't want Vogelbach. It was more like, oh, I wish we could have got him for somebody else because at our time the bullpen was pretty shaky and Holderman was like really reliable. But everybody was down with Vogie, it seemed like. Everybody I knew, at least.
Once the pictures went around, but they look at batting average. Everyone looks at batting average these days, man, and you know how that's not the full story of a player.
But there really is, it matters that, like, you look the way you look and you play the way you play and you carry yourself like that. Like, from a fan's point of view, I'd rather, everybody else looks the same. It's like a cookie cutter. And then you look at a guy like you and it's like, fuck yeah, you want to root for that guy. And when you're mashing or running, it's like, it's more fun to get behind because it's just a big. Everybody loves a big guy who's doing his thing.
That's right. That's why I'm on the show.
There was never any. But people were excited for you. I feel like Naquin went so under the radar. I was like, okay, like, sure. We got a lot of good guys out there already.
He was in Cleveland,
yeah,
and they won, and he's played this like type of baseball, and like that's the thing. Like,
someone made a good point. They said Naquin, Lindor, Cookie, and someone else was on that Cleveland team in 16.
Right there, fucking freak rain delay away from winning the title is unbelievable. How has off the field life been since the move?
It's been good.
Yeah.
I don't do much like during the season, like just so invested in and take so much time to baseball. Like you're just worn out after the games, So like off days, it's been good. Like
what's an off day like if you're not doing some press or something like this? Well,
just try to find like a coffee spot.
I was gonna say he's drinking coffee. I was gonna say
you love your coffee, huh?
Yeah.
What's your coffee order?
If they have nitro cold brew, I'll do it, but just regular cold brew.
Nitro.
Yeah.
This guy,
I'm not a coffee guy, so I don't even know what you're talking about.
He was in Seattle. He was in the Holy Land
coffee
days.
heaven.
So wife and I'll go do that, or try to find like a brunch spot, or just something like walk around.
What's your brunch order?
I'm
go
not
with
a huge breakfast person.
Okay.
But like I like avocado toast and stuff like easy.
Here.
But to be honest, on off days I just kind of she has to watch baseball and so whatever she wants to do, like
is she a baseball fan?
No.
Well,
wow. She's becoming one.
Sure. But it wasn't
like
she was a fan of you or
no, like
the
when
game
we first
start.
No, like when we first even in Milwaukee, like she doesn't understand baseball, which I love.
Yeah.
I'll be like 0 for 4 with 3 punchies, and like I'd foul a couple balls on. She's like, "You did so good. You hit the ball." I'm like, "Yeah, foul," and then I hit it into the catcher's glove 3 times.
Yeah, that makes it a little.
But I like it that way better because I've been
at home,
I've been this way even since I've been high school. Like, I don't want to talk about it when I leave the field. Like when I'm going home or I'm in the my mom and dad and I used to get into it because they'd want to talk about the game, and I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. Yeah. I sucked. I don't care. I want to move on. Like
even if you had a good day.
Yeah, I'm over it.
If you hit 2 bombs and drive in 6, you don't want to let's talk about it.
The only thing that I ever get is texts from my boys back home that I'm super close with, but they get more excited than I do. I have like a group chat and they just.
Where is like home for you?
Fort Myers, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And you got a crew of guys who.
I got a few.
He still talk to?
Yeah, I got a group. 6, 7 guys that I'm super close with at our circle, and they're.
I'm sure they're
kind of
too.
Yeah, we've been through some stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
in the friend group. What guy are you? Like for example, I remember I would always say, the movie Old School. Have you seen that? Like I have a couple friends who are the Frank the Tanks. I have a couple friends who are Vince Vaughn's character. I always felt like I was Mitch Martin. I was like there. I wasn't the wild one, but I was always there and kind of doing stupid shit. But I could kind of see everybody's like role. What guy in the group are you?
Depends when we're talking.
Say a few beverages deep.
Yeah, like I don't know. We had a saying like one of my boys. I don't know. he's out there, and I love him. But he has said this saying, like, he just started saying, like, not a problem. Like, no matter what happens, it's not a problem. Well, then it went to, like, in our group, like, I was the big problem. So, like,
like that.
They felt
big
like
problem.
they felt like that. Like, they always say, like, I'm the ringleader. Like, I always, like, you know, whatever we do, it's because of me. Like, and they follow it. But no, man, like, doing this, like, I got a small group. I don't, like, trust a lot of people. I kind of keep
Smart man.
And,
Smart
like,
man.
I have, like, a couple of them have been, I mean, 2 of them I played high school baseball with, you know what I mean? Like, and when I bought my house when we were 22, and I had 2 of my best friends that lived with it. It was just us 3 in the house,
fuck
you know?
yeah,
So,
that's
like,
awesome.
yeah, so.
And where's that? That was Seattle?
No, in Fort Myers.
Oh, Fort
They
Myers,
lived with me
okay.
in Fort Myers, yeah.
Got it.
So, like, they would stay there during season, and then the off season we'd live together.
Man.
But, yeah, like, we just do, like, it's always us, like, when we go out. Like, we don't really hang out with anybody else. It's just our group, and our families are close, and that's the way I like it. And they live through, like, my brother and I are super close, too, and he hangs out. He's older, but, like, he's always with us. And
What does he do?
He coaches our high school football team.
Oh, cool.
And he athletic trainer.
Dope.
So he played college football stuff, but, like, they like, if I hit a home run or, like, it's a good game and, like, we win, like, I come back to, like, 6-7 texts from all of them. Like, they're all juiced up, like, in their so if it's the weekend, like, they'll be in the house, like, running around, chugging beers. I'm like, this is awesome.
That is fucking great.
They
man.
must love the big problems in the big city, man. That's what his life's
dude.
all about, dude.
Absolutely, man. Are you when you go out with the boys? Are you like a bar type, a club type, don't go out at all type? Like, what's
To be honest, I love, like, hanging out at the house, like, drinking at the house. I'm a big college football guy, so, like, when I get home, like, I'll grill out and watch college football.
You were gonna be a Gator, right?
Gonna be a Gator,
but you got
Yeah.
drafted. So, do
So
you
is
have
Gators
any
your team?
tie to
Was that
them,
your
or-
team forever?
Florida,
you're
we're
Gator.
big Florida. We're
Okay.
big Gator fans. So
You and Pete gonna link up on that?
I guess, we talked about it.
Yeah.
So, like, I like grilling out and hanging out at the house with the guys. Like, I feel like, you know, I always say, like, I don't need to go out. I don't need to hang out with anybody else. You know what I mean? Like, so
Married guy, got your friends. Like,
got
what
the
else
boy-
is out there other than
exactly.
trouble, right?
So, exactly. But yeah, you know, we got a good group. We can still have a good time at the house, and that's it.
I like the Vogelbach. The big problem is a fucking. That's a name right there, man. Meanwhile, I don't think you are at all. I feel like you got, like, your head on your shoulders, and
Yeah,
you're so.
yeah.
You know, you're just, one of the things I feel like, I think maybe people would be surprised about when they first see you or don't know your stats, don't know your game, is you know, you're not just like big bop or a strikeout. You know, you're known. You don't chase. You're not striking out a lot. And you know, that was, if I'm playing in the bigs, that would be something I really pride myself on, especially the way the league is going. Everyone's striking out a ton. Was that something that came naturally to you? Have you always had a good eye? Is that something that's like work on and grind out, or you just it just flows for you? It's just natural.
I kind of have, like, been that way, like, coming through the minors and even in high school. Like, I've prided myself in, like, getting on base, like, because I think it goes back to, like, doing what I can to help the team. Like, you're not always going to hit homers, you know, like, you're going to go in slumps. You're going to be like, but, like, what am I doing with my at-bats when I'm not hitting homers, you know? Like, and I always said, like, if I can get on base 2 times a game, and 0 for 2 is a lot different than 0 for 4. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, I always, like, try to, like, you know, feel like minimizing at bats, you know? Like, you're going to face an ace. And imagine being on the other side. If you're facing DeGrom and you actually have 4 bats off of him, like, and you're not gonna, you don't walk at all, like, your chances of you going 0 for 4 are pretty high, you know. So it's like,
right, yeah.
I always say, like, minimizing at bats and, like, just getting on base. Like, you can't force the pitcher. The best advice I ever got was, you know, home runs aren't hit, home runs are thrown. You know, so, like, you know what I mean? Like, they make a mistake,
cookie right there.
you know, like, you make a mistake, you hit it, but, like, if you're not gonna get a pitch to hit, like, you can't just force anything, and, you know, you're striking out, and, like, so I just pride myself in, like,
who said that?
Andy Haynes, the hitting coach. He was with me in Milwaukee, and then he was with Pittsburgh.
Right.
You know, so, like, that was just something that, like, I've really, like, it's stuck to me in that, like, just being in the big leagues, and guys are so good in the big leagues. Pitchers are so good that you can't try to hit everything, you know, and, like, if you try to hit everything, it just doesn't end well.
And you fit in perfectly with this lineup, because at this point, I don't even know what to say when we win a game. I'm just like, they just grinded another pitcher, and I say, welcome to the Thunderdome. First inning, you just start off every Nimmo at bat. It's 3-2, and the guy has 10 pitches every single time.
I think I saw some stat. It was like 50-something games maybe that the starter has thrown like 25 pitches in the first inning, and the team is like 32-15 in those games or something. It's like it's not easy to execute, but it's an easy game plan. It's like grind it out, see the pitches, get to the bullpen, and mash.
That's the thing about this lineup too. Like, you don't have to be the guy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You just pass the torch to the guy behind you. Like, you walk, next guy will do it.
It's
you know
relentless.
what I mean? Like, yeah, and that's the best thing about it. Just pass it.
Some people, other fan bases, other teams, announcers, broadcasters, people associated with other teams, maybe in the NL East, are calling it lucky. A lot of that's been thrown around. This is luck. Now, we as Mets fans, we watched our hopes and dreams get crushed by the Royals in 2015 with the exact same style of offense, like smart hitting, manufactured runs, a couple guys that can bop, but mostly, you're going to get a lot of infield singles and hitting the other way and all that kind of stuff.
Put that in a word, Kevin.
What's that?
What word would you use to describe that?
Oh, that's total luck, though.
No, contact.
No, that's oh God! Don't say it. Don't say it.
PTSD.
That was I very famously said when the Mets were matched up in the World Series. I was like, "We're gonna win this World Series. Like, we're better." And everybody said, "Well, the Royals make a lot of contact." And I was like, "Contact, contact! Like that's why we're gonna lose." And that's exactly why we lost. And now I'm on the other side of it, and it's very fun to watch as a fan and watching these other fans go nuts and be like, "They're so lucky. They're so lucky." And I'm almost like, go ahead, call it luck. But, it's not that. It's talent, it's skill, it's speed, it's all that. But have you guys heard that at all? Does that make it to the clubhouse that some people are calling it luck?
I mean, people can call it whatever. I haven't been here the whole year, obviously, but we're 100 and some games in. Like, luck runs out eventually.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think you look up in that lineup, and, I mean, you look through the lineup when it's on the board, and, like, you got 7 guys with an 800 OPS. Like, that's really, really good. Like, that's well above average. And you got, I mean, I don't know how many now, but Pete's, close to 100 RBIs, and Cisco's
right
just
behind
tied
him.
Jose Reyes. Is right. You know what I mean? Like, that stuff isn't luck. Like, that's
Does that so the other day, what's homeboy's name? Strickland?
Strider.
Yeah, so he was the one who like specifically said it. I feel like it's one thing when fans say it. When the guy that you just pretty much beat up on says it, are there professionals in your locker room being like, the fuck, dude?
I mean, I obviously hear about it. It was all over everywhere, you know. But at the end of I said it, like, at the end of the day, like, we got our blinders on. Like, we're focused on one thing. People can say what I know Cisco said it yesterday when they asked him about tying the record. Like, we got bigger goals. Like, I want to win a World Series, So, I mean, heck, if we win a World Series by luck, I'll take it.
It's better to be good than lucky. You guys are both right now. Yeah.
So,
but there was no like. Was anybody like?
I don't think we need any
clowning him
extra motivation.
Yeah.
I don't think it's one of those things like where it's like bulletin board material or whatever. I think it's just we won, on to the next one. I obviously didn't go the way he wanted, or he wouldn't have said that. But just on to the next one.
What was it, 2 2/3 or
3 2/3, like 4 runs, 6 hits, like a
a
whole lot of luck going on. It's like one ball hit the bag. Calm down, dude.
Yeah.
You could almost say that if you just build a lineup based on home runs or strikeouts and you win the World Series because of that, that's kind of more luck than
that
making
you ran into
contact
home
there.
runs.
Honestly, yeah. I know you haven't been here the full season, but another running storyline for the offense is that this team is just constantly getting plunked. They've had like 79 hit by pitches.
That's what I heard.
And every time, we as fans love it because every time, well, first of all, it's a base runner as long as nobody's getting hurt.
Yeah.
And every time they cut to Buck in the dugout, and he's always like, fucking happened again, man. To the point that the broadcast now, the screen turns red and they make this like alarm noise.
Oh, really?
Because he's just like, these guys did it again. Has Buck said anything about that in the clubhouse? Like,
no.
Is there any talk about getting hit by pitches constantly? It feels like you guys get hit again. You haven't been here the full time, but it feels like it's like 2 a game.
I feel like he probably wants to get. He's like, I'm on base now.
Pete had mentioned it to me when I first got over here about it, but no. And then I saw I don't know where I saw, but like the Buck thing about.
Yeah.
But I just think, like I said, Buck cares about his guys. You know, like he protects his guys, and But yeah, Pete said something to me about it, and I was like, "Holy cow, you guys have been hit a lot." I didn't realize
it's crazy.
Was that. Yeah,
Nimmo, it's like a magnet. He gets hit like 5 times a game.
I think he does like it. He's smiling as he's running to first.
Yeah, I think he's perfected. He's not leaning in, but he's certainly not diving out of the way. So he's perfected that. I'll tell you what. I think one of the biggest compliments is though, certain situations, I'll take it. You got to get someone on base in a crunch spot, whatever. We're at the point as fans, I feel like, I don't want to hit by a pitch because you're taking the bat out of somebody's hands who can fucking hit. I don't want you to stroll down to first. I want you to fucking trot to home.
They call it Trey Turner. You weren't around when that happened, but Trey Turner took his base very happily.
Earlier in the season in a big spot, Trey got, glanced on his jersey or something, and he was fighting for, no, it hit me. And we were like, okay, cool, because it takes the bat out of Trey Turner's hand. And the next guy got out, and we won the game happily ever after. I'm like, I want my guys hitting. I don't want my guys going up there to get hit by a pitch. But it's a funny thing. Maybe I kind of hope it stops.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
dreading, injury would be the one thing that seems like kind of could derail this. But, it's been all gravy since you've gotten here. Do you feel like this is, you don't look back now and just kind of the run starts here?
Yeah, I think that it starts now. You know what I mean? Every day is a day closer to what we want to do. So I think that we just have to take it. I think it's easy to look ahead. Obviously you're human. You know what is ahead. You know what could happen. You know that we have the lead that we have. But I think that you just have to take it game by game. Can't worry about who's winning, who's not winning. There's still a lot of baseball left, and we just have to – we're playing really good baseball. So it's just focus one game at a time. We got the Phillies tomorrow, beat the Phillies. Then we'll beat the Phillies. You know what I mean? And obviously we're going to lose some games. Things aren't – but it's you lose, all right, whatever. It's the next – you know what I mean? That's the positive about what this team's done in the sense of they've built the lead that they've built. So it's if you lose a game, it's not the end of the world.
Do you learn things like that about any guy who gets traded mid-season? Do you take a minute to read up on for instance, they have been hit by a lot of pitches. We haven't had many sustained losing streaks. They've been getting good starting pitching. Here's the holes. Here's the good. Is there almost a cheat sheet? Here's what you need to know, or do you just say fuck it, I'm just gonna play my game?
No, I kind of just get it more from the guys. You know, when you get to the clubhouse, let them kind of tell you the stuff that they feel like you should know. You know, and let them fill you in, and then go from there.
Yeah, it's a cool way to get it, where it's just from their point of view. We could tell you what we think, but from their point of view is really what matters.
For sure.
And he came in, welcome to New York. Oh, here's the Subway Series. Here's the series, 5-game series against the Braves.
You were there for the Subway Series,
and it was electric. Both of those.
Oh, right.
Electric atmosphere.
Yeah, how was that vibe?
Awesome.
Yeah, that's a cool thing.
There was never a pitch that the fans took off. It was awesome.
Yeah.
We had a watch party for what was the first watch party we did? It was the Braves. It was and they were cheering balls and strikes, and then
that's awesome.
And when Diaz gave up, when Diaz or DeGrom, when they just hit the ball and hit it to an infielder for a ground out, it's and it's so rare to see that.
We were booing because we wanted all strikeouts, getting that cocky.
That's awesome.
Was the Braves series? We felt as fans. By the way, I'm a we guy. Do you get mad when fans say we? Mm-mm. Some people are like, "You're not on the team, man."
Oh no.
Bro, I don't know. I've been here for 30 fucking years. It's a we, okay?
I'd listen, every one of them.
Yeah. But, to get a 5-game series is a very bizarre thing. And the fact that it was division rivals, 5-game set, that's about as close to the postseason as you'll ever get in the regular season. And, obviously you guys beat the shit out of them. My words, not his. But that felt as a fan for me, I was I was a little nervous. I was what if the Braves, because, they've had their winning streaks and whatnot. But after that, I was this team can beat anybody. Does that vibe?
Yeah,
because I know you say that shit in the clubhouse. We could beat anybody. But do you, when you have a series like that, do you start to really oh shit, we actually can beat anybody?
Yeah, the Braves are good. The Braves are a really, really good team, and I felt we played really, really good for 5 games. Even obviously we won 4, but it's easy to say we played really good. Even the game we lost, we played.
The
really
game you
good.
lost is you made them burn their bullpen and set you up for the next game. It was
and I think
pretty flawless.
I think that everybody does genuinely think we can beat anybody. I think that you have to have that mentality when you're out on the field, because this game's just so hard and so many good players and teams. If you don't have that mentality, I feel like you just get eaten alive.
So you mentioned hanging out around the house. You got your close crew of friends. Is there anything Like, are you a video game guy? Are you do you read books? Do you like TV shows? What are you watching on? What's your favorite
I feel like
movie?
it's just college football. He's just playing.
Yeah,
in the
no, I
middle
mean,
of the winter.
in the off season, I'll play video games a little bit with my boys just to like
You got a favorite
talk
game?
to them. I play whatever they're playing. I like play sports games, but they don't like to do it, so they play like Call of Duty and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll play on there, and I last about 30 minutes for me
You're-
because I suck and I throw the controller, and I'm like, I'm done with this.
Hey, you're competitive too, so yeah, that's
exactly.
gonna piss you
Like,
off.
I'm like,
So you're the
I
weak
suck.
link on the team.
Absolutely.
You're like,
They
Vogie, come get me. You're like, I don't
they yell-
fucking know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm dead. I've been dead for 20 minutes.
He's like Jim Halpert, just
Yeah.
running into the wall the whole
No, they
time.
always say, they always say that I'm always looting too much. Like they're way ahead and I'm back, like still getting guns. I'm like, yeah, I need a gun to kill somebody.
All right, so no games. Are you? Do you watch TV?
Not really. I mean, every once in a while, but in the
You
off
don't
season,
have like
it's
a
sports.
favorite series or anything?
In the off season, I just watch. I mean, it's football.
It's
Yeah.
what's your who's your pro team?
Wherever
Dolphins?
Tom Brady plays.
Wow.
Wow.
What the
Oh,
fuck's
so-
that about?
Yeah, I just.
What the fuck's that about,
this
man?
guy's haunted this
Listen,
guy's
you're in
life
New York
for
now.
years.
Maybe keep that a little bit quieter. I know he's not on the Patriots anymore, but we still don't like that name around here. Fuck.
Yeah.
Why
just-
Tom? It's
like,
greatness.
take-
Because he fucking wins, and this
I
guy
know,
No,
won't
like
say
no,
yeah,
that.
like
but, you
he
know.
just like watching what he's done, like at the level and that he's done it at is like with what he's done. Like I feel like every year it's like, oh, no way he can do it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he doesn't have this, he doesn't have that. Like it's kind of cliche because not many people have it, but he's just got the it factor.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like you can never count him out. Like I enjoy even if he loses on Sunday. Like you watch a game, like he's never out of a game. Like you watch when they lost to the
That Rams game,
dude.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and just to see like what he's done and what he's been able to do, because I know the whole when he left New England, it was like, oh no, it was all Belichick, and then he didn't even have OTAs or anything with Tampa, and he goes and wins a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's like it wasn't all Bill.
yeah,
Folks.
you know what I mean? Like, so just to see like, and I think that like, I think Josh Allen has that too. You know what I mean? Like,
that's
there's just
why.
some. I don't really have a team. I just like watching guys. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
like watching guys, like and guys that have that like factor. It's like,
Could you
cool.
imagine Vogie going to a Bills Mafia game?
Oh.
I mean, put him through the table. Don't you dare go through a table. You can
Yeah,
throw whoever
yeah.
you want. Throw me through a table. I'll
Don't
take
need any
the-
of that. I don't know, man. I need you to give my Jets a shot if you're gonna be here in New York, dude. Maybe Zach Wilson has that it factor. He's doing some
He
things
has
off
some
the field.
sort of factor. We
Doing
know that.
some things
Watching
off
news
the
in
field
news.
that,
You
you
saw
know.
that, I'm sure.
You know,
Yeah.
could be it. A lot of people were saying this guy has some sort of it factor. Maybe it
Someone
translates
agreed.
on the field
man,
too.
That's funny.
So Brady for football.
Yeah.
Do you watch basketball? Any other sports? You're just a football, baseball guy.
No, not really. I don't really watch the NBA that much. I like college basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, college basketball. Yeah.
Gators, that when you're growing up too, that was a pretty decent team
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah, they were. That was fun. But I don't know. I just turn on and like I'll watch all on Sunday. Like I'll watch all the games. Like
So you're just like
my
a sports
buddy's like a
junkie
huge.
kinda?
My buddy's a huge Dolphins fan.
Yeah.
So we always have
Why
to
you
watch
say it
the
like
Dolphins
that?
because nobody
know.
wants to watch the games with them. We're like, fine, we'll watch the Dolphins with you. And then we always would give him a hard time that they should have went and got Brady instead of Tua and like all this. And he's like, no. They're also
Tua's the guy.
Yes,
Tua's the
he's
guy.
like,
Yeah.
no, he's
Well,
the
he's
guy.
in 2
Now
and
we
on?
got-
He's a 2 and
yes,
on guy?
yeah.
Oh,
And
jeez.
he's like, now we got Tyreek Hill, so like it's way different. Like I'm all in. I'm like, okay, I'll watch the games with you, but you're gonna be disappointed
I
again.
know.
Like-
I laugh, but I'm in the same boat with the Jets. I'm like, I always get my hopes up. I'm like, I swear this year's gonna be different. And I'm like, I've also said that before.
we watched the game. It was actually the Dolphins had won like 8 in a row last year, and they were making that push, and they had to like win out, and they played the Titans, and they lost like they got blown
was
out.
murder,
yeah.
yeah.
And I remember we were at my house watching the game, and he lasted a half, and he's like, "I'm leaving. I'm out of here."
Is he all decked out too? Is he rocking the
He's
jersey?
got his jersey. He gets all fired
God.
up. My brother actually, when he was younger, collected helmets. So he'll like run around with his dolphin. He'll put the Dolphins helmet on and like run around and like.
Man, the
We
Vogie
just
pad
laugh
must
at
be
him.
so much
Yeah,
goddamn
that
fun
I mean,
on a football
that,
weekend.
that sounds like a blast.
Gator
You-
football games are pretty intense.
Is that
Yeah.
you during Gator football games, or you're
Yes.
losing your
I get
mind the
so
entire
mad.
time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
it was
so
actually
you-
Florida Georgia 2 years ago
Ooh.
when we beat Georgia in to go to the SEC title. First play of the game, Georgia scored on like a 95-yard run. we went 3 and out, and they scored again, and I punched a hole through the TV. Gone.
TV. I think this is a wall.
No.
Just
Like there was like 20 people in my house ready to watch a Gator game, and Kyle Trask was about to take a snap, and I punched him square in the forehead. Like I was so mad, and then we won. So I take credit for
turn the tides.
Yeah, I was like turn the
See,
tides.
okay,
You
so
know what they
like,
call that? Big problem.
That's a big problem, man.
Solid.
But so you can kind of understand then. That's interesting to know that like you've got some of that in you when a fan is like booing or fuck this guy or you suck or whatever. It's like I once punched the TV.
I think it's just like I said, like you just get
care,
like, you care. Like I love Gator football, and I do not like Georgia, and I do not like the other rivalries. So like anytime we play them, I just get so like I'm like please anything. Like I have a group chat with 3 of my best friends from back home that like we follow like all the recruiting and everything. So like if we lose a recruit to another team, it's like no way. Like come on, it's like the end of the day.
You're in the nitty gritty. I like that.
Yeah,
but you're complaining about recruits and
Have you
whatnot.
ever
That's
thought
like
about
us
calling? What's the guy on ESPN? The guy who they call into?
Paul.
Paul.
Yeah.
Paul.
Yeah.
No, because I don't think he doesn't like the Gators, so I don't know.
Do you hate watch him at all, or is it just
no?
I do like though that usually it's the hate that you love the Gators, but you hate Georgia, you hate the rivals.
Georgia, Florida
That's
State,
what,
Miami.
Fuck 'em,
Yeah,
right?
I don't like them.
We wish the worst for you.
So? Like, are you like him? 'Cause
LSU.
that's him in the Yankees, and he says like a Yankees loss almost feels as good as a Mets win.
My 2 favorite teams are the New York Mets and anybody who's playing.
That's
the
what I always
Yankees.
say about Florida State, Miami, and Georgia. Who are you rooting for today? Whoever's
It sounds like Ari has a list in his head that he's just counting
fuck
down.
these guys. Like, I mean, Yankee fans. When I was growing up, I was born in '85, so I missed like the '86, and then when I'm 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, it's the Yankees dynasty.
Yeah.
I grew up in the Bronx, so I'm around Yankee fans my whole life. So people sometimes will be like, why do you hate the Yankees? They're not even in your league. And it's like, but they're in my city. They're in my fucking life everywhere, So if there's one thing you can do for me, it's just please mash against the Yankees.
And that's everything down there too. I'm thinking Georgia, Florida State.
Yeah.
So you're going to the you're probably buddies with some friends that
and then,
are.
like you go to I've been to the Florida Georgia game in Jacksonville, and it's like Georgia fans are just all like the fans. I just can't stand it. It's like you only hear about Miami fans when Miami's good. They don't root for Miami when they're not good.
Yeah.
Florida's had some bad years, but I'll still rep the Gators. Like that's my
Brother,
thing.
man, that's blue and orange. Something there, dude. We do it as well.
And don't forget those Georgia fans, they're Braves fans too. So
Fuck shit.
And if it makes you feel better, they're probably Falcons fans too. And they just and Tom Brady took their heart out of their body.
Oh my
and ate it.
gosh! Yes.
All right, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope that you realize how much the fans have embraced you and how genuine it is. And
I've never gotten the amount of questions I had. When is this episode going up? When is this episode going up?
No, they really, man, like it's wild. It was so quick. Obviously, you earned it because you played so well, so fast. But
there's a hole in our
overnight-
soul when Bartolo left that
Yeah,
you
just
filled. You're
filled
the
it.
exact puzzle piece. I don't know how you did it, brother, but you
Same
did it.
size, just slid right in there. So, I hope, obviously, continued success for you and the team, but the fans absolutely love you. So whatever the future may hold, I hope you're here for a long-ass time to just mash away, dude. So
I appreciate it.
Yeah, we get him a cup of coffee. Let's get him some coffee, dude.
Do some
appreciate
donuts,
it.
do some coffee.
Yeah, no, for real, though. Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Appreciate
I
it.
appreciate it.
Cool.